is brought to you by the Piedmont-Macon Medical Center. Outside, it is 35 degrees right now. The dew point is at 30. Feels like 35, luckily, because the winds have calmed down. They could pick up a little more as we go through tonight. We're already at freezing in Milledgeville and Dublin. Those are the cold spots currently. Forsyth, we're at 41 degrees. Perry, we are at 33. And Roberta, 38. Compared to this time yesterday, a lot colder out there. 25-degree drop in Dublin, that's the biggest, followed by a 20-degree drop in Butler as well as in Macon. We're down 22 in Perry.
In high definition, this is 41 NBC News at 11.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us for 41 NBC News at 11. I'm Tucker Sargent. Our top story tonight at 11, Bibb County Sheriff David Davis is asking Macon-Bibb Mayor Lester Miller and county commissioners to prioritize building a new jail. This comes after 4 inmates escaped from the Bibb County Jail 2 weeks ago. In a letter to the mayor and commissioners, Sheriff Davis wrote that poor conditions of the jail were a contributing factor to the escape. He recommends the county issue a request for proposal, or RFP, for professional services to develop a space needs analysis and a conceptual plan for the new facility. The sheriff also mentioned a new jail's potential inclusion on the next SPLOST ballot. Law enforcement is still looking for the 3 men who escaped from the Bibb County Jail on October 16th, offering up to $56,000 for the recapture of Joey Fournier, Mark Anderson, and Jennifer Barnwell. Shavis Stokes, the 4th inmate who escaped, was taken back into custody last week at a home in Montezuma. He was back inside the Bibb County Jail later that day. If you have any information on where the other 3 escaped inmates are tonight, the special tip lines are still open. Those numbers are 478-310-4502, 478-310-4485, and the Sheriff's Office number is 478-751-7500. You can also call Macon Regional Crime Stoppers at 1-877-68-CRIME. All these numbers can be found in this story on 41NBC.com. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office needs your help tonight finding a missing teenager. Deputies say 18-year-old Gabriella Dixon was last seen in the 1900 block of Pine Hill Drive on Monday. Dixon is around 5'1", weighs about 145 pounds. If you have information or know where she is, call the Sheriff's Office at 478-751-7500. New tonight, we have information on the man found dead on the side of I-75 in Crawford County last month. According to Crawford County Sheriff Lewis Walker, an autopsy revealed there were no signs of trauma to Terlanzo Martin's body. Sheriff Walker says Martin was from Alabama and had been living in a facility in Valdosta for a couple of months. He didn't name the facility. Officials are now waiting on toxicology results. In Houston County, a gun was found in a student's backpack at Houston County High School today during an administrative search. That's according to Houston County School District spokesperson Jennifer Jones. Jones said the district can't discuss disciplinary actions taken against a student, but the district did follow its policies and procedures concerning weapons at school. The weapon was confiscated. Well, 2 men from Macon and another from Warner Robins were sentenced this week after they were arrested during an investigation targeting convicted felons with guns. 27-year-old Raekwon Christian, 35-year-old Trayon Brown, and 43-year-old Gabriel Brown pleaded guilty to 1 count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. We were not able to get a mugshot of Gabriel Brown. Christian was sentenced to 10 years. Trayon and Gabriel were sentenced to nearly 6 years. Well, 5 people from Milledgeville were sentenced on Tuesday after pleading guilty to distributing controlled substances, including fentanyl. Between all 5 men, they were sentenced to a total of 53 years. According to court documents, law enforcement recovered fentanyl, meth, cocaine, marijuana, and handguns inside an apartment in Milledgeville in 2021. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office needs your help tonight in a theft investigation. Deputies there say this motorcycle was stolen from a home on Hickory Drive last night between 8:30 and 10. Investigators say there was no tag on it at the time it was stolen. If you've seen it or have any information, call the Monroe County Sheriff's Office at 478-994-7010. A crackdown on illegal tobacco sales to minors results in multiple arrests across Monroe County. The sheriff's office says a 6-month investigation after community complaints revealed sales to people under the age of 21. Jail records show 9 people were charged with selling to minors on Tuesday. The sheriff's office says random checks will continue. A man Monroe County deputies were looking for last week has now been taken into custody. According to a sheriff's office Facebook post, deputies arrested Patrick Hartman. He was wanted for terroristic threats and battery on a person over 65. With identity theft at an all-time high, it's easier than ever to be the victim of a scam. 41 NBC's Andrew Willis visited the Monroe County Sheriff's Office to learn more about identity theft and spoke with the Better Business Bureau about what you can do to protect yourself.
The Monroe County Sheriff's Office receives 1 to 2 reports of scams every day, but Sheriff Brad Freeman tells me scams are more common than you think. So I asked Sheriff Freeman what some of the signs are to look out for with scammers and what you should do if you think you've been the victim of a scam.
These criminals are always trying to think of some unique ways to make money, and some are better than others.
The Monroe County Sheriff's Office urges residents to protect their personal information from scammers. The warning comes after an investigation into scam reports led to the arrest of a woman who used personal information to open fraudulent accounts with Verizon. Although scammers have several ways to steal your data, Sheriff Freeman says she did it the old-fashioned way.
A lot of time it's mail theft. People will steal something in mail, or they'll pilfer through, trash or something like that, get some identifying information from you, and then try to set up an account in your name.
Sheriff Freeman explains the best way to protect sensitive documents from scammers is to shred them. And if you see someone going through your mail, report it to the police. But according to Vice President of Development for the Better Business Bureau of Central Georgia, Jason Blankenship, only 26% of scams get reported. He says it's easy for scammers to not get caught because they're assuming the identity of someone else.
You're trying to be the most honest version of yourself, and you racked up all these bills that you didn't receive any benefit from.
That's why Blankenship says it's important to regularly check your bank accounts and credit history and report any suspicious activity. He recommends never mailing sensitive information from your home address because it can be easily accessed as information online.
A lot of times we think identity theft, we think computers just a world away. And here we see it's at the end of your driveway.
Now, Sheriff Freeman tells me if you think you've been the victim of a scam, the first thing you should do is contact a law enforcement agency so that it can be on record and investigated from there. In Forsyth, Andrew Willis, 41 NBC News.
And Blankenship also recommends reporting scams through the Better Business Bureau or through the Federal Trade Commission's website at reportfraud.ftc.gov. Still ahead on 41 NBC News at 11, major developments could be on the horizon for Houston County, but it's all in the voters' hands. And the Atlanta Hawks look to extend their win streak to 3. They face the Wizards at home tonight. Our Shah Sperani has highlights for you later in sports.
Chris Denmark, mornings on 41 NBC.
Funerals can easily cost $9,000 or more, but government benefits pay only $255. If you're between 40 and 85, get your free Funeral Advantage Guide. Help keep your family financially protected with up to $20,000 cash immediately.
It's so easy. Just answer a few simple health questions.
Funeral Advantage is something we'll all need. There's no risk or obligation.
Call 800-845-1696.
I started in Louisiana and decided I would move over here to the big city, and 32 years later, I've been here at Piedmont doing open heart surgery.
We see so many complex surgeries that other hospitals don't get to see. I knew I wanted to be part of that team and not just be on the sidelines.
What drew me initially to the OR is the teamwork.
It's great to work alongside people that feel as passionate as you do, and I love the people here.
We are proud to be Piedmont.
This is Rhonda. She's a soul line dance instructor. And this is Rhonda's Good Feet story.
I love dancing, but I had to quit pain and hated the fact that I had to sit out a couple dances. But since visiting the Good Feet store and wearing the arch supports, I definitely have not felt the pain. I am able to dance longer, feel happier. My energy levels have increased. Once that energy gets into you and you're feeling good, double spins.
Get back out there with arch supports from the Good Feet store.
I'm Forrest Johnson with Forrest B. Johnson & Associates, and let me tell you a secret. One of the things that you want to do when you hire a lawyer, you want to find out whether or not he's handled the type of case that you've been involved in. If it's a truck wreck or a car wreck, find out whether or not he's handled cases like that before. Find out whether or not he's going to be involved in handling your case. Remember, call us. The first call and the only call you should make.
Call Forrest B. Johnson & Associates. 478-257-6266. It's Macon.
Car wreck, get a check.
Call now.
In high definition, this is 41 NBC News at 11.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Houston County leaders say they plan to bring major developments to the county, but they're counting on voters to renew the county's SPLOST on Tuesday. 41 NBC's Dejan Campbell spoke with leaders about their plans for upcoming projects.
Road and bridge improvements, more book purchases for libraries, 911 dispatch upgrades, a new jail roof, and a host of other projects, all on the ballot for residents of Houston County on Tuesday. County leaders are looking to the SPLOST, or the Special Purpose Local Option Tax, to fund these projects. But does that mean an increase in taxes for residents?
This is not an increase in taxes. This is to maintain the sales tax at 7%.
That same rate paved the way for 6 major projects that have been completed in the county since 2018. Chairman Perdue says it's been a collaborative effort.
We've been good stewards of the taxpayer dollars. It's important to note that this is not just contributed by people who live in Houston County or own property in Houston County, but it's also contributed to by people who come here and shop for their groceries or their clothes or their cars or anything else.
Maggie Schuyler is the president and CEO of the Perry Chamber of Commerce. She says the collaboration of the contributions from the county and its residents will be great for local businesses.
Going to make it so that our businesses are going to be able to do better business, and the individuals that live in the county are going to be able to have a better quality of life because of all the great infrastructure and all the new improvements that are going to be made, as well as all the additions that are going to be made to what we already have here.
Improvements Chairman Perdue want to make sure voters know about before heading to the polls.
I just want people to be educated about what is included in this 2024 SPLOST. I want them to know that the election is currently ongoing and know where they need to go to vote. There's a couple of early voting locations that are open right now through the end of the week, and then on Tuesday, if you choose to wait to the end to vote, you can go to your normal polling location.
Reporting in Houston County, Dejan Campbell, 41 NBC News.
Election day is Tuesday. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Well, now it's time to get a look at weather with 41 NBC AccuWeather meteorologist Aaron Lowry. Burr, Aaron.
That is right, Tucker. Burr indeed. You see freeze warnings out across much of the southeast right now. We'll tell you how long we can expect those to last and if we have a warm-up coming when we come back.
Weather brought to you by Volume Chevrolet in Forsyth, exit 187 off I-75.
Title Max got your money, your real money.
Get started at TitleMax.com and turn your title into real money.
I got $2,500 with TitleMax.com.
Most credit types accepted.
I got $8,700 from TitleMax.com.
All makes and models welcome. Visit TitleMax.com today to find out how much you can get and get your title back with TitleMax.
I got my title back with TitleMax.
Get your title back with TitleMax.
Bye-bye, cough.
Later chest congestion. Hello, 12 hours of relief.
12 hours? Not coughing? Hashtag still not coughing?
Mucin XDM gives you 12 hours of relief from chest congestion and any type of cough, day or night. Mucin XDM. It's comeback season.
Want a flatter, tighter tummy? Then check out new AbEX from Sono Bello.
Doctor, after my pregnancies, my body just never bounced back. I had this stomach overhang that made me really self-conscious.
It's not your fault. That stubborn fat and excess skin is very difficult to get rid of with diet and exercise alone.
That's exactly why I went to Sono Bello. I really trust their team of experts, and I finally got the flat stomach I had always wanted.
Introducing AbEX from Sono Bello. Remove fat and lose excess skin permanently in just one visit.
AbEX is a great alternative to a tummy tuck because that overhang you mentioned becomes flat and tight fast with minimal downtime.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation now to learn more about AbEX by Sono Bello. Call 888-374-0649 or go to sonobello.com.
Don't want to come over and drink Sprite?
We just sit around.
Drinking Sprite.
We drink Sprite like Da Vinci's Last Supper. We all just sat here on the same side of the table.
The Lee and Haley Show, weekdays at noon on 41 NBC.
Now, your 41 NBC AccuWeather forecast, presented by Volume Chevrolet.
Welcome back. Here we are in downtown Dublin. Again, a cold night for us around Middle Georgia. 41 Skyview is brought to you by Clover Health. Not a whole lot going on. I wouldn't expect there to be. People are going to be hauled up at home, maybe turning on the fireplace with temperatures like this. 34 degrees. Luckily, the wind right now is calm, and for much of the region, it is pretty calm, especially compared to what it has been. 5 miles per hour Eastman, Montezuma, Vienna. The only locations reporting right now. Hopefully, it stays that way, and our wind chills overnight aren't too bad. Otherwise, we could see them dip into the upper 20s. We'll get there in a little bit. This freeze warning in effect until 10 a.m. Freeze watch is overridden by the freeze warning, so don't worry about the freeze watch. If there's a warning that covers the entire region, that's what you need to worry about, all right? We are basically all expected to get below freezing by tomorrow morning. Wind chills, as mentioned, could dip into the upper 20s, so you'll want to make sure to have that heavy jacket ready to go out the door. We will warm up a little more tomorrow than we did today, where we only touched up to 59 this afternoon, which is 15 degrees under that average of 74. Tonight's low of 31. Not only is it 16 degrees below the average of 47, that would tie a record set all the way back in 1930. So could be seeing that happen overnight tonight. Potentially bitter wind chills into those upper 20s with wind gusts that could approach upwards of 15 miles per hour. 29 degrees in precise. That's our cold spot tonight. You got Vienna down to 32, Warner Robins, Perry both down to 30, Eastman 31, warm spot Soperton at 34. We've got Milledgeville down to freezing, and those of us in Jones County down to 30. So wind chills, again, they could get relatively rough by the time we get into the morning. Upper 20s towards the mid 20s for the coldest spot there. You got Eastman, but main thing is wear a heavy coat. That'll largely help protect you from this, and it's not going to stay there long. By lunchtime, into the mid to upper 50s, we'll see them peak in the upper 50s before we start to cool as the sun sets tomorrow. Wind chills shouldn't be as bad overnight tomorrow, as we aren't expecting there to be a lot of wind, largely down to about the freezing point. A couple of us could see them still dip into those upper 20s, but I'm not expecting anything crazy. Now, clouds, we do see a couple of them come in as we head into Friday morning. If you saw those green blips, no, you didn't. We're not going to be seeing any sort of precipitation. Don't even think about it. Then we get into Friday night, and skies are going to still be clear. It will be a little chilly out there for high school football this weekend. You will want to layer up. Should be some good football weather, though, because there aren't going to be any adverse effects, and the wind should be pretty calm. So for your Thursday, largely into these low 60s. Might be a couple spots in the upper 50s, like Forsyth there. We got 60 in Eastman. Warm spots, I guess it was Dublin earlier. Alamo and Soperton were both 62. Either way, we're barely going to eclipse 60 degrees tomorrow, and with that wind that could still be a little breezy in the afternoon, sweater weather is indeed what we'll be seeing. So I'll have your extended forecast in 10 seconds.